Hi guys, Craig and Annette, Oz Camping. Today we want to talk about water connections, specifically mains water connection. So on our CX3 Pro, we had this connector on the outside. So under our bedroom here, we've got two water tank caps for filling with fresh water, and we have a water connection where we can screw in a hose fitting. Screw in a hose fitting, connect your hose and connect water to the van. Now, I've spoken to Starvision about this, so please check what your van's got, because ours didn't have what they call a mains water connection. You can connect a hose to this, but it doesn't have any pressure reduction system in it. It has a one-way valve in it, so water can come into the van and not come back out when the pump's pumping pressure. But it's not designed to have the hose connected to all the time. I believe that Starvision are going to update future vans to have the proper mains water connection. So we wanted mains water connection. Now, we don't very often camp in caravan parks, but when we do, it's handy to be able to plug the water straight in and not worry about having to have water in the tanks. Sometimes we travel with full tanks, sometimes we travel with empty tanks. If we're traveling with empty tanks and we're stopping at a caravan park, last thing we want to do is fill the tanks when we can just hook up to mains water. So the difference, what came in ours is a C-Flow connector. Okay, so the brand is C-Flow, and we took that out because, as I said, it only has a one-way valve in it, does not have pressure reduction, and we replaced it with a SureFlow. And I'll put a link to that product in the comments, but a SureFlow mains water connection. In fact, it's specifically called City Water Inlet. So a SureFlow City Water Inlet. Now the difference is the City Water Inlet has a one-way valve in it, but it also has a mains pressure water reduction valve in it. So that means that you're not putting full mains pressure into your van. You're putting a regulated water pressure into your van, so you're not going to have hoses popping off left, right and centre. You're not going to be putting too much pressure into your hot water system or through your shower or through your toilet or anything like that. So it will be a safe way to connect mains water pressure to your van when you're in caravan parks, or even if you're just at home. So let me show you what we had to do inside, because there's a couple of more things that you need to do other than just replace this fitting. So I'll meet you inside. Okay, so here we are. I've taken the cover or the base off this, so it's just held down with Tech screws, so you can unscrew it, lift it right off. That gives me access to everything in here. It makes it a little bit easier to explain what I'm doing. In behind this bulkhead is where our C-Flow pump is. Shout out to Starvision for using a good quality pump. C-Flow are well known for their reliability. So this is the inside, so that's water coming from the tank into the pump and then out from the pump into all the appliances inside the van. So we took off the C-Flow water connection and we replaced it with the SureFlow City Water Inlet. Now, as I mentioned, the City Water Inlet has a pressure restrictor in it as well as a one-way valve. So I put a connection on the end. I needed to use an elbow so I could loop a pipe around, and all I did was this pipe coming out of the pump normally just went straight through and through the floor of the van to the rest of the system. What I need to do is a couple of things. I need to make sure that when I'm connected to mains water, that's this line here, that I don't have any backflow into the pump. So what I did is I put a Y piece on I cut through the pipe, I put a Y piece in there, I connected the pump through a one-way water valve, so non-return valve. The water can only go out, it can't come back into the pump. And then into the Y piece, and then my mains water connection, this one here, around and into the Y piece again. So it's fairly basic. You can see what's happening here. When I have the pump turned on, water is being delivered via this one-way valve here, this one-way flow connector, into the van. When I have mains water connected, I don't turn the pump on at all. I just have mains water, which is coming around this pipe here and back in through into the van, through the Y connector, and it can't flow back into the pump. So really simple modification, nice and easy for you to do. I will put a list of the parts that I used in the comments, and if you've got any questions, feel free to ask. The main thing is that you check this connector that you've got on your, it doesn't have to be a CX3 Pro, it could be any caravan. You might have a camper that doesn't even have mains water connection and you want to put one in. So you get your city water inlet, that's the one with the pressure reducing valve in it and the one-way valve in it. Then you get yourself an inline one-way flow valve and a Y connector. You cut into your pipe after the pump, so on a pump outlet, and then you install your Y connector, your one-way flow connector onto the pump, and then you've got another connector that you can put in your mains water supply. And that's all there is to it, guys, so enjoy. Thanks for watching.